This conference will now be recorded.
Right, so we discussed all the steps how we can configure a replica set, and also we started discussing replication issues one by one with the document, right? We picked up to till what point we picked up, freezing the node, how to connect to the primary always using the URI. If you have the security enabled, then you have to give the username and password. This will make the connection to always the primary only, always primary. Okay, irrespective of the primary in the replica set out of three nodes, it will absolutely connect to the primary, and then applications never see the downtime kind of. If they use a physical machine all the time, I mean the primary one, the primary can fail over for numerous reasons. Maybe primary went down because of some service shutdown or server shutdown. Whatsoever happened, all applications will break. If they use this connection string, they don't need to change anything. Wherever the primary node, it just connect to them. That's how we deal with it. And resyncing the primary, resyncing the outdated secondaries, you just delete the data directory data and then start the MongoDB. It'll sync from the scratch. Even if there is a corruption, Mongo is not coming online when it is rebooted. Remove the entire data directory files and stop the Mongo, remove it and start it. That's it. We have seen that yesterday, right? Data center migration also we have seen. Prevent one of the secondary to not to become primary also we have seen by using the priority. Uh, did I talk about this? Did we finish this?
No.
No, good. So let's finish. Let's start here. Configure delayed replica, arbiter node, upgradation, removing. Okay, good amount of info, practicals we have to do. Fine. Prevent the secondary from being. So this is something we will use when we are adding the one of the machine from the remote data center. Generally, we do in that cases only, basically. So you have a primary data center and secondary data center. Now, secondary data center server is only one or two, whatever it is. In the primary data center, you have two servers or three servers, whatever it is. One server from the remote. So only the role, the primary role will be switched between these servers only. It should not switch it with this one. Why? Because the remote and all connections from coming from this data, this nearest to this data center, the Mongo is made for. This is only DR. In case of anything happens with the complete data center, you would be protecting the data with this one. So I don't want this to be. This should not become a primary at any point of time. Make the priority 0 and make the priority 1 1 1, so that among these servers, one of the server will pick up the primary role. This never pick up, but it will sync in the background up to the data based on your network availability and the server capacity. Both will matter. Why? Because replication is something asynchronous by nature. If you wanted to force synchronous, you have to use the write concerns. Write concerns we discussed up to right, unacknowledged, acknowledged, replica, journal acknowledged, replica acknowledged, all that. So that will make sure that data is really written to other nodes also. But the more like syncing you're trying to do, the more delay, the more blocking will create in the data. Why? Because other people are also trying to do, not only you are trying to change it, right? So the server is a distributed model, it is a shared model, everybody are connecting and doing the job, so it must be available to all. So if you lock resources for longer time, the more blockings will get created. So better to keep it minimal, the right concern, the better the blocking we can avoid. Anyway, let's check this practically. Prevent secondary from becoming primary using a priority 0. So let me connect to, anyway. So first, Mongo is running, right? Yes, I did not stop VM and Mongo both. It is running. I quickly check on each machine. It is running good enough. Okay, fine then. Let's connect one by one. Mongo user, right? User was Anita. I guess TH. Yeah, I kept it, right? Password. I'm just keeping it. Password, don't keep it when you're working, I said in the security. Right. So I'll quickly connect everywhere. Right. So now the situation is this. rs.status. Let me explain this quickly, then we'll go to that scenario. Okay. So this is one of the important output you need to understand, guys. Very, very important. rs.status, rs.conf. These are the highly used command in replication to understand what how many members we have here. It will give you how many members and what configuration you have used in each member also it will give you. So I kept priority 0 already. Okay, good enough. Let's see anyway. I kept it. It seems that I was talking maybe. Uh, so priority, this makes sense, whether the other one can become primary or not. Priority 0. The priority 0 will never become a primary. It syncs all the data. It is eligible to oat because oats 1. You can keep oats 0 also. If you keep it 0, it never oat. We never want that. We will keep minimal nodes, right? We don't go beyond 7 nodes. I never seen implementing 5 nodes also. Maximum 4 or 3 basically. So you are losing the outing if you are keeping 0. We never keep 0 here. The 1 must be there with every node anyway. So priority 0. Anyway, I'll come to this one before that. I wanted to talk about this rs.status. You need to know this. rs.status reading that output is very, very important for us. And then I'll come to this. No need to worry. CLS rs.status. This is one of the famous command which will give you the complete health of replication. What's going on? What is happening with the Mongo? Which is syncing, which is not syncing? What is the problem with each one? It is going to display that. So what is the replication name? This is a cars. Cars is a replication name. And date. Last updated. So this is a last updated time. 38:59 something. It is GMT. These values are in GMT. Today see 412. So 412 today's date. And this value is giving GMT value, which is fine anyway. My state one will tell you that it is a primary. If you go to the secondary, rs.status, rs.secondary, okay, then rs.status. My state will be 2. For secondary, my state will be 2. For primary, my state will be 1. See, my state is 2, basically. Okay, that is what the my state means, basically. The term, how many times the failures have been occurred once the Mongo is started. The number will tell you these many times. So now 13 is there, right? Here also, if you see what is the value is there, 13 is there. What is the value here? This that also you need to understand. Okay, rs dot status. This you see the 13. Now I just wanted to do the step down. On which node I am right now? Linux 01 rs dot step down. If I do this, this will become secondary, and one which is having the equal priority that will become the primary. The role handoff will take a little time. So this got the primary role. Now let's see the rs dot status. So now the value will become 14. Before it was 13, right? So it is got 14. So what is this 14 indicating? That once the Mongo is started, these many times the failover happened. Totally, the role switch happened between the nodes. This number will indicate that previously it was 13, now it is 14. So now you see everywhere the value will become 14. So It will not tell you the history, like what reasons it is failed kind of. This number is telling you something that I'm, making you understand. 14 times this got failovered. I moved here and there Mongo multiple times for many scenarios. Total after Mongo started, it is. After Mongo started, these many times failover has happened between the nodes, one to other. Is it clear? Right. So if you see syncing to Linux 03 and syncing source Linux 03. So which one is actually our source? If you see, this is the primary right now. So from which one it is syncing basically? It is syncing sync source host is Linux 03 basically. Okay. From there it is getting the data. That is what our primary means basically. This will give you a lot of information if you understand. Anyway, you don't read all of this, but what is there? What is the meaning behind it? Okay, sync source IDs to the machine source IDs to in rs.config. If you see this ID of the primary, you can see that rs.conf. Everything has a meaning in it. So if you see Linux 03, you see ID. This is ID2. This is what it is saying, that ID2. Sync source ID in the replica set. And see heartbeat interval milliseconds, 2000 milliseconds. So 2000 means 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds it's polling. Every 2 seconds. I'm live. I'm alive. I'm like secondary only because there is a primary. Primary is already having the maximum number of votes kind of. Okay. Last committed uptime. This is always giving this failure time. It seems, I'm not sure that one. Last stable checkpoint time. This is the time epoch value. We'll see that. Some members. So we have, see, one member Linux 02. This is secondary. It is holding up. My state 2 is saying one health state 1 means it is syncing well with the primary. Health state becomes 5 something like non-syncing member. You see the different number for it basically. Okay. And uptime date. What is the last transaction time happened on this one? So if you see 141.30 and 141.30, and this one also should be equal to almost 141.30. This time will tell you that is secondaries are really sync with the primary or not. This time, anyway, you don't come here. You have print replication info, print slave replication info, or print secondary replication info. Though there it will tell you anyway, is it completely sync or not. Even you can understand from this also. See 412, 141 it is telling GMT, and the same time on this one also 141.30 is GMT. Here also the same. This timing is same means uptime date, operations time date basically. It is matching means you already given all the data, all everything is in sync. Uptime. These many seconds ago the Mongo was started, 81,872 basically. A day ago, which means this will give you the uptime of Mongo in terms of seconds basically. Little bit of information, guys, nothing much here. It will give a little bit of information, but this is something very important. When some node is not syncing, you come and see here only rs.status. Which node is not syncing? This is secondary syncing. Role is given means syncing. This is a primary. If you see this is a primary role, and this is also secondary role right now. 3 servers we have members. This is one member. You see it. This is another member, and this is another member. There are 3 members, and each one, what is the status at the moment? Secondary, and this primary and secondary. This is how it is. Now example, what I'll do, I'll shut down one and I'll show the status quickly, just for the sake of discussion only. Rest.conf. See, let's see which one has the lowest priority. Priority 1, 0. I'll shut down this, and let's see in the rs.status what it shows. Right, use admin. I'm going to shut it down. db.shutdown server. It got shut down. You see, there is no Mongo. Now let us check the rs.status. It will give you a different state for that. It is not secondary. So if you see members, this is where it started members, and Linux 02 state. It usually secondary, but it's saying not reachable healthy. See, health status before was 1, now it is 0. State was 2, now 8. Health is not good, which means 0. State it was before 2. The state when it is receiving the data as a secondary, it will be 2. Okay, now it is 8. And the state string is not reachable healthy. It is not able to talk to that one because it is down. Not reachable means it is not able to contact that. It is writing the information of that member in the rs.status. You get this from the rs.status. That is the reason reading this rs.status is very important for us. Okay, what is the problem with it? Error connecting to this one caused by connection refuse. It is trying to connect to this one on this port, but there is no response to it. Connection refuse means the service itself is down. We intentionally made it down to understand. So this way you can easily understand what's going on with the Mongo. rs.status will give you very good information for us to troubleshoot it. So primary is there, second is there, we are good enough. Business wise, we don't have any issues. If one of the secondary is also down, the primary also will become secondary. That is the last situation we're going to see. We have shown in the beginning itself on the first day, but still I'll show it as a scenario again, right? This way, if one of the node goes down and what is not syncing, what is the problem with it, we'll troubleshoot on the locally uh, here basically. Okay. I'm starting the Mongo. As soon as you start it, it will pick up that node status as quickly as possible. So if you see the first one, the first member, right, Linux 02, it started secondary and health become 1. It was 0 before. Now state become 2. So it pick up secondary, primary, secondary. So this way rs dot will help, like it is very important output for us. If someone is complaining one of the node is not getting the data or all, we don't see the up to data, then come to the first rs dot status only all the time, or else you also equally good to see this one. Print secondary slave print. This is also good. It will tell you which one is not syncing. Which one is not syncing basically. This will also tell you that, okay, this is not syncing. Why? You go to rs.status. Okay, what is the reason it is written? Basically, out of sync, not able to sync anymore because it is out of sync member kind of. So what it is writing? So go to that node and troubleshoot in the log file and then take the action. That way it is. Right. So this is something important. Let's move to the scenarios, guys. Again. Now, prevent secondary from becoming primary. It seems I talked about, but anyway, it is not fully discussed. Let's do it again. So anything you wanted to change, any config change you wanted to do it from the primary only. Don't do it from the secondaries. It won't reflect. It won't allow you to do. So rs.conf. So what I wanted to do, already it is there. Anyway, I'll quickly talk about. I'll take the pick up this output. Now I'll change the different one as priority 0. We can do it. This is the rs.conf. Now if you see, this member is already a priority 0 member, which means in this diagram what I was saying, this priority 1 1 1 and this is 0, this never become a primary at any point of time. Even all these three is going down, what happens, this will stay as a secondary only. You can read the data comfortably but not writes from there. How we can make this primary also, we have a scenario. In a worst case, everything is down. I wanted to make this as a primary at the end of it because everything is last, something last. I wanted to make this for the business immediately to sustain from this machine. How do we make it? We have a situation and scenario on the last situation because I have to take out all and make it one, and that one I'll bring it as a primary. So that we'll see in the as a last scenario, not now. But anyway, so now if you see the voting, the priority is 0, I'll make this one to 1. Okay, and I'll make current to primary to, where is the current primary, this one, right? Current primary to, no, should not become primary anymore. So this will immediately will hand off the role to one of this machine because it should not become a primary. I mean, instructing it. If you see, this is already primary right now. I'm going to reconfig with this one saying that you should not be primary. You are owning the primary, but don't hold the primary role. Give it to someone by giving the value 1 to other nodes. Following? Yes or no? So now I'll pick up this output and simple, just simple, changing the Mongo config. uh, Google, if you go to a lot of people written a lot of different ways, but this is a deadly easy method. Right. So I'll give T equal to, I'm just giving the output. So now CLS, just T, I got the output, which means it is there in that variable. So now what I'm trying to do, Linux 03 should be priority 0. It should never become a primary. Let's hit it on this primary itself. rs dot reconfig, and the variable is 2 or T actually. If I do this, what happens? This role should be given to someone. Let's really do this. What it is saying? This node with the ID 2 is not electable under the new configuration version of 800 replica set cars. Okay, it is saying 0. You cannot do it on the primary. You cannot force that to primary, it seems. You can give the lower value, but not 0, it seems. New replica configuration incompatible. Okay, you cannot do on the primary. You cannot force the current primary to not to take it. It is already taken the role. So this is not the case, it seems. I was just checking that anyway. This is not electable under the current configuration. Anyway, this is not done. 0 means OK set 0 means it is not executed. Always keep in mind. You run some command. If it is saying OK 1, that is executed. OK 0, no, it is not done. So you cannot make the current primary as a priority right now. When it is secondary, you can do it. So I'll give this to 1. Then this one to Linux 1 is anyway. What is holding the priority 0 before? I have overwritten the config. It will be misguided. It is not overwritten. It is not overwritten because it's failed. So Linux 02 is holding 0. I'll change it. This one to 1. This one to Linux 01 to 0 now. I'll change it. So let me pick up this into new variable x equal to. You can give any variable, just a variable, right? Right. So CLS x. So now Linux 01, I want it to be right, Linux 01. So now rs dot reconfig. I'm going to pass that x. It will take. Why? Because it's not primary, right? It is picked. Okay means it is picked. rs dot conf. So now the Linux 01 cannot become a primary. If I step down from VM03, say I was doing the step down from here. If you seen before, it was primary, and then I did a step down for like checking that one, step down. So now this never become a primary anymore. Why? Because I gave the priority 0 to this one. If I step down, the second node will become the primary, secondary, and this will become primary. See, this is the primary role right now. This never became a primary because we kept the 0 as a priority. Wherever you change the priority 0, that never qualified to become a primary, though the IP is nearest, the data has recent data, still it never ever become a primary, as simple as it is. So when do we use? Only this situation, like local data center, remote data center. Remote data center is syncing purpose only, it's for secondary only. It should not become a primary. So you are giving that condition with a priority 0. That is the only situation we use priority 0. Is it clear? Say something. We are done with that. Prevent secondary from becoming primary. Only change 0. So rs.config pick up the output and paste in notepad. Change the priority to 0 for the one of the node and allocate the output to one of the variable and then run the below command. It is written in detail. Is it clear? Say something.
So
Yes.
Ravi,
Yes.
can you say once again? Sorry, I didn't follow you.
Yeah, here, Santosh, actually, this is what our rs.conf output I picked up into Notepad. And here, if you see the priority 1 for the Linux 02, priority 1 for the Linux 03, and priority 0 for the Linux 01, it never qualified to become a primary because it is a priority 0. At any point of time, this will not become a primary because you intentionally keep this value to 0. Only the primary role will switch between these two, here and here and here. That's it. It never become. But when do we use in reality? This is what the situation: local data center, remote data center. Remote data center only for the standby. So here you'll give a priority 0 so that this never become a primary, but it will hold the data and keep the data for dr purpose. That way we use like priority 0 member to not to become a primary intentionally.
I
Is
got
it
it.
clear,
Yeah.
son? Yeah. Configure
Yes.
delayed replica set. This is something I have seen in the past, but that client went away out of our support model. Very in the beginning, when I started my career, there was this kind of thing was there. Now we don't have this delayed replicas in our environment, but what it is and how it is going to protect. Let's see. I'll do it live. Just catch it up. So let's pick up the output again. Again, I'll show it from the beginning. Okay. What I'll do, follow carefully. It's very important. rs.conf. I'm picking this one. I'll keep the delayed replica 1 because delayed replica always primary priority to 0. It should not become a primary. So I'm picking this output rs.config. So do it this way when you start working. Changing the config very easy this way. If you go to Google, I mean, there are different solutions, guys. Confusing solutions people have given. So now priority 0, which is fine. Now I'm going to give some value, slave delay. Slave delay 120 seconds. I can give the number here. Priority 0 must be there when the slave delay is given. Why? Because when the node is not syncing for certain time, that should not be qualified to become a primary. So if example I'm going with the 1, it will give a warning. When you give a slave delay this thing, don't keep the priority 1. Let's give it. Let's give it and try. It will give a warning and see the warning and then change that value. You realize what I'm trying to say. Uh, maybe X again, assign that value, right? The third one, priority, like 1, but the slave delay is given to the variable. The variable what we have given this X, rs dot reconfig. If I go and pass that X value, it will reconfig. But it is saying that, see, OK 0, no, it is not finished. Whatever you instructed, it is not executed. Why? Error. Priority must be 0 when slave delay is used. Exactly, this is what I was saying. It is even telling you that you cannot use a slave delay without priority 0. Why? Because it's always operating with some data gap. Why you're keeping it 1? It must be 0 only. It should not become a primary. The Mongo also knows internally. So when you make some replica member to be delayed, you must keep it 0. It is mandatory. So now I'll recopy this one and we're able to, I'll reassign the new I mean, again I'll assign this one. Now the things are changed. Slave delay 120 and priority 0. rs dot reconfig. Okay, and use X. Done. Okay, one means done. Now rs dot conf. You see this? Priority 120 is given here. 120 number 120 means 120 seconds. If you see 120 slave delay 0 number long, so it is immediate. So now let's see the situation. Show DBs. This is where you need to understand. I'm going to go on to one of the database. Use lab. Okay, db dot show collections first. Okay, db dot find test dot find. Only modifications will go through the oplog. I'm reading. This will not go through. So there is transaction. I'm going to insert one record into it. This is where we get the testing anyway. It is 2 minutes. It's too long anyway. So by that time we can insert the data and see it. Right. This data is inserted to 3 times we inserted. Is this data will reflect here? Yes, it will reflect there. Why? Because it is a immediate syncable secondary. Okay. Show DBs. Use lab db.test.find. You find those records. What we entered 3 records, I feel, right? Here. But here it is delayed by 120 seconds, right? rs.slay secondary. Okay. Use lab db.test.find. You don't see that data yet. Why? Because we kept that role. rs.print. You can read this information from anywhere. You see this value. This is 123 seconds behind the primary. Which one? The next one. It is writing the details. It is behind the primary because we kept that value intentionally. So this way, whatever you do, the data will reflect 120 seconds behind the primary right now. Okay. And this data will come once it clock, the data age becomes 120 seconds, it will automatically come and apply to this one. The data what you inserted that is having the timestamp in it. You've seen that every transaction will have a timestamp in it. The timestamp based on the age of that document, it will come and apply. So it will get the data after 120 seconds only. Anyway, data will move to oblog. It will come instantly. Oh, that also I need to show. Let's do it. Data will move to instantly to oblog, but it does not apply to data file. That's the gap. Okay, so I'll enter one more record. Intentionally, let this happen. Maybe I'll keep different record here. Okay, fourth record. So this is the fourth record. So where do I find is this record is actually went to the oplog? Use local. Okay, db.oplog.rs find. So it is going to read everything. So I just wanted to know the structure of the document. Find one, right? This is a document. There is a namespace. It will have a lot of like things in it. So I don't want to read all. If you go and count, there could have been a lot of data because it is running since yesterday. 990 MB is capacity. 2200 records are there. I don't want to read all. So I wanted to give the criteria here. What is the criteria? Namespace. Namespace is actually where I have done that lab dot test, I guess, right? I'm giving the condition. So these many documents are modified. The last document is actually Conda, right? That's correct. So now the same command, if I run on the other node, this node, use local before it. Come on. Anyway, You get that Konda record. Santosh is here. Santosh. Oh, Uplog also is not syncing. Okay, that's a good thing to know. Thought like Uplog will sync. CLS. Uplog itself did not get the data. Good enough. Then is this one use local? Come on. Here you have the data for sure. Konda is here, but not here, which means it's not even getting the data till that time. I thought like it will sync to Uplog. No. So this third record, if you go and see db dot use lab, first use lab db dot test dot find, there will be up to Santosh, but Okonda is also applied. So which means the data age become okay, use local. It seems now it got synced. I'll show that once again if you wanted to see. See, Konda is recorded. I'll insert one more quickly. Right, fifth record. This is the final justification on this one. I'll move out of this. What is delayed replica is this. Example, instead of this, let's do this. Remove. I'm removing the data. We are doing something damage where we see this S number 333. There are S number 3 records are there are 3 records are there. So I'm going to remove that, comma 1. It is going to remove all the 3 records. Not removed. What happened? Where I am now? Test. Okay. Lab. I must be under lab. db.test. And okay, anyway, I'll just run this command as it is. If I run, it will remove 3 records. Okay. Now you see db.test.find. Oh, only one record it is removed. How come? I said all right. Comma 1 means everything. Okay, anyway. 3 records are gone. Only 2 records left. So now if you see here immediately, you will see the same thing. Use lab db.test.find 3 records immediately. But here you see all the records db.test.find. You will find all. Come on, use lab db.test.find. See all the records. What I'll do before that transaction coming and hitting, I'll take this backup and then keep it as safe so that I can recover this data. Though it will come and hit after 120 seconds, before that I'll dump it. How do we dump? How do we restore if something is not part of this model? And point in time recovery can be done using the replica set only. Standalone we cannot do. That also will be covered in the backup restore. If something completely deleted, still you have a recovery from the oplog. We can recover database deletion also. We can recover from the oplog. That we'll see in the backup restore. Not now, but anyway, for now, what you need to understand: if you do a bad operation in the primary, the data modifications will take time to the secondary. Generally, we'll keep 2 hours delay, 1 hour or 2 hours delay, not immediately. Based on what we will decide on that one. This is what oplog window. Print slave. Oh, sorry. Print secondary replication info. You see, this is 120 seconds, but what actually the current log file is holding, how much data? Print replication info. If you go to this one, this is saying that 23 hours of data it is holding up. 23 hours data is good, right? So 23 hours, keeping 2 hours is good enough. I'm going to keep this node or replica member to become 3 hours delayed. See, data got deleted now. we till next second, last second, we were seeing the data, but now it is deleted. The age become 2 minutes. It took out all the data. So now if you see this one, this will always be 120 seconds behind. It never, even though it synced all the data, it will keep 120 seconds only all the time behind. Why? Why it will show 120 seconds all the time? Because we kept in the config file. It's always 120 seconds behind the primary because we kept the slave delay to 120 seconds. If you give 3600 as a seconds, then it will be an hour. If you keep 84,500 or 600 something, it will be a day. So you need to know how long you wanted to keep this one of the second it to be delayed with the changes. You wanted to keep 2 hours, 1 hour, day, based on the oplog window. How long the oplog is holding the transaction, based on that you keep the delay, slave delay. Don't keep too much like 6 hours, 7 hours something. Maximum 2 hours. If you do a bad operation, you should come to know within 2 hours. If not, that also is not going to save you. Delayed replica. Right now we don't have anything this delayed replica in our environment. But anyway, the reason it's not remote region basically. It's not remote region, local region only. Whatever you do, it will instantly apply here, but not here. It is 120 seconds delay. Whatever I do it here. So if I do some bad operation here, that bad operation will take time to reflect here. Before that, I'll pick up the data so that I can dump and restore to the primary again. I'll get the data back online. So it is protecting you against the bad operations. So that is what the intention behind the delayed replica set. Is it clear? Yes or no? Say something. We are done with it. We're done. See guys, a config delayed replica. Pick up the output of the rs.config and change the slave delay and the required replica to become to required timestamp. When we keep any node as a delayed replica, the priority must be 0 so that number will not become a primary as it is delayed. Copy the modified output, paste it and reconfig. That's it. It is done. And we have seen the demo after it. Any question on this? Got it. Good. This is all about it, nothing else. So even offlog also syncing after 120 seconds only. I thought like offlog will pick up the data instantly, but it is not. That we have seen, right? After 120 seconds only data is coming to offlog, then only it is, writing the data into it. Good enough, something good to know, right? So this is over. Let me know if you have question quickly. Then I'll move to the arbiter node. Then Mongo upgrade, then removing everything and making last as a primary. That is the story at the end. This is a main discussion for us, upgrading the Mongo, main topic for us now. Let me add the arbiter. Arbiter will not take any data. See, will not take any data. Take. Arbiter will not take any data from primary or any data nodes, including security. We need to enable the security and the arbiter node to connect. We will keep the replication name same like the data node. Only replication name to be same, but it does not sync the data at all. So if I wanted to make one of the node to be arbiter, example this to be arbiter, I wanted to make it. First, I had to remove out of the replication and then prepare it with the empty node. So rs dot, I'll remove basically. I'll remove first. When I remove, what happens? Let me show that first. I don't remove it first. See here, the role car secondary. It is there because it is there in the replica set group now. I'm removing it. When I remove, it will be gone. What I did?
No, you didn't put the Linux 0, 1 or 2.
Good. What it is saying? See here. This is something very good output. Anyway, I did the mistake unknowingly, but it is good discussion. If you're trying to remove which is does not exist, it is saying that could not find it. These are the nodes are there. Use these nodes. This one, and this one. Which one you wanted to remove? I given a wrong node to remove, but it's saying that couldn't find in. What are those? It is giving you the, like a hint. These are there. Use that. What you are trying to remove it. Clear, right? Something good. Now it is gone. Now it will become another. It won't become replica anymore. Other. It is not a member. I intentionally don't want this. I have to add separately. Right. If you go and do the rs.conf, you only find two members. One member is gone. See, two members like that. Arbiter plays very different role in terms of does only voting. That's it, nothing else. So I don't want a replication on this one. Then what I have to do, use admin. I shut down first. db.shutdown. There is a process for it, guys. It is gone. Now ps-ef grep mongo. No mongo is running. Then what I'll do first, I'll disable the replication role and everything. I'll disable first. I'll prepare the node for the discussion. So what I'll do, cat vi etc mongo mongo insert. I will disable certain configs. I don't want the security for now. It's a fresh node, assume case. This also I don't want right now. Okay, save the config. Right now, start the Mongo. It will start without any security. Just hit Mongo, it will enter. None of the authentication, nothing. Replica is gone, security is gone. Just anybody can come and connect to this now. Now what I have to do, use admin. I'll create the user. db.create user. The same again, enabling the security, all that. You have to come from the beginning. I'm creating the same user, Anita. Okay. Just to keep it simple. I can create any user. Doesn't matter. pwd password also I'll keep it same, and the roles role is root db admin. It is done. Now use admin. I meant to admin only, right? db.shutdown server, right? Come out of it and enable that. etc mongo. Oh, come on. vi etc mongo. I have enabled security, then I'm comfortable to enable this now. I have created a user. Enable means even replica set also I'll enable it. This how, see, when it arbiter, what do? You just prepare the plain node and add it. It does not sync with the data. Anyway, let's go to data directory. What we have, we should not keep all the data. We don't want. In fact, do we have all the crappy thing? Yes, we have. It seems. Let's see. WC ls-l WC 45 files. Right? I don't want this. I'll remove everything. I did not start the Mongo here yet. Okay. Then I need the security disabled again. If I'm removing this, come on, I should have done first before this. Anyway, I'll do it again, not an issue. Grep Mongo We are not running the Mongo yet. It started, right? It started already with the security. I'll stop it. It should be empty server. You don't need data. Use admin db dot shutdown server. Now I'll modify this file again. I don't enable the security yet. Why? Because that should not hold all the data. That is empty server, just empty. Does not sync anything from primary. Why I'm doing this, I'll tell you. So if I see here, I'm going to delete every single thing here. Everything is gone. There is nothing left in it. Note a data directory is absolutely empty. You see this? Now I'm starting the Mongo. So this will actually start without replica. Where it is, right? Mongo is started. Now you don't have that many files. It's a basic files. See, only these many files. Plus fnl wcl. You see? Oh, come on. Total 19 files. Only 19 files only will be here. It never change because it never get the data. Good enough. So I'll go to the Mongo and create the user again. Because it never sync any data, security data, any data. You have to create your own db dot create user. Right. So now okay. I'll start the Mongo. Right. It started with security and replica all. So if you go to the Mongo, user Anita and the password trade 1234. Admin. So it cannot do. It's not a master. It's not a slave. Then what I'll do, I'll come to here. I'll add that node as an arbiter. How do I add it? rs dot add arb. What the heck? It is not coming. Why it is not picking? Add arb. What is that command? Should come up. Arb. Oh, sorry. Out of mind. So arb, not orb. So Linux 0127017. Now it is adding a arbiter node as a voting node, nothing else. It is added. Now you can see rs.conf. This is what we use in the real time. This is a famous 2 data nodes, 1 arbiter all the time. So you see this one, this is arbiter false, this is arbiter false, this is arbiter true, which is Linux 01. priority 0 by default. It did added. You did not add this one. It will out. It will out means it will form the election, but it will not take any data at all. It does not take the data at all. So now rs.status. Let's see this. This is where you get the actual output. So this is arbiter. See, it is arbiter. It does not sync any data at all. And one secondary, one primary. That's it. These are only data nodes. These are only arbiter. Arbiter, what it does, even one machine is down. One machine is down. Maybe this primary is down for some reason. Use admin. I'm going to shut it down. It will form the election. It will make the other one to become a primary. So this will become primary. It will become primary because this voting is there. Though it does not hold the data, you see the arbiter, the name. Though it does not sync with any data. See, there were what is that machine name? Linux 01, on which I do. Let's go and check how many files we had. That many files only will have it in the arbiter data file. You never see that change. The files are growing up because it does not take any data. cd where mongo d data, you see the files 19 only remain. It won't take further data. Any collections it does not take. Basically it does not sync any data from the primaries at all. It's just a acting node. And if you see why we need an arbiter, why people goes with this architecture everywhere in the real world, arbiter does not take the resources. So here example, you have a 2 TB data, assume a case 2 TB data, here also 2 TB data, one secondary data node, 400 GB RAM you have to deploy at least for this, 32 CPUs you must deploy, 400 GB here as well, 32 GB, 32 CPUs minimum. Here you have to keep 2 TB to storage again 400 GB RAM and 32 CPUs, very expensive. So if it is arbiter, it just need maybe one CPU, 3 GB RAM. That's it. You don't need a storage as well. It is forming the election. If this goes down, it will form the election. It will make the primary. So if you know example, this goes down, the primary stayed still primary will remain primary only. It won't affect it. Why? Because voting coming from here. So this way we have a protection for Mongo with the arbiter because it's just giving a voting node. It does not do anything. It does not take the data. It does not do anything except giving polling it. So when there is a majority, then only primary will be elected. More than the off should be there. So two is more than off only, right? If you have three servers, 2 means more than the off. When it is more than the off, you got the primary election and primary will be elected. So arbiter is the concept everywhere will be used. One data node, two data node, one arbiter. Everyone will follow this architecture. What we have seen here, where rs.status. Anyway, I'll do it again. So now I'll start this again anyway. We know, we understood, right? So rs.status, that will come and pick up anyway. So the current primary is this Linux 03 and this arbiter. This is going to be secondary, just I started. So it's like that. It never get the data at all. Arbiter is arbiter. It's just a voting node, nothing else it does. These two exchange the data, primary and secondary. Okay. If primary is down, secondary will become primary. If secondary down, primary still say as primary because there is a voting coming from the arbiter. If arbiter down, the primary also will become secondary. You want to see that? Let's do it. Always try to show practical thing. So use admin. Let's do this. Just understand. Secondary it is. I'm trying to shut it down. db.shutdown. Okay. It's gone. I mean, no Mongo. This is primary, right? I'll shut the RDP Mongo. Okay, it is still primary, though it is gone. Arbiter is losing. We are losing the arbiter also intentionally. Now that primary will become secondary because voting is lost. This will, where was the primary? This one, it will become secondary. It takes some time. See, this secondary. See, you cannot write, only read. So OT is lost. So it must form more than the half of the votes, then only the one of the node will become a primary. If it is not forming the enough of voting, all stay as a secondaries only. No one can write the data. So it will become primary when one of the node comes online because it gets the vote. Till that time, it will be secondary only. Following? This is very important. You need to understand. I was discussing in the demo also. I mean, the demo in the
So,
sense, yeah.
so it is same like quorum concept, right? Like a Windows
Co-
cluster.
Exactly what you said is correct. Quorum just gives an out. Here also arbiter is giving an out. That's correct.
Got it. So, Ravi,
Absolutely.
like in Windows cluster, we have we don't need to keep that machine. Like we can keep in a disk also, like quorum. We can, if there is anything,
Right.
something like
Here
that.
it is a node for sure.
Only node. Okay. Okay. Got it, Ravi.
Yeah, it is absolutely node. Right. I bring up this thing. I mean, the arbiter as soon as it comes online, it will form the voting and then it will make the role primary. That's how it is. It will pick up the voting. See, become the primary. That's it. One of the arbiter is enough. You just need the voting, not the data node. Just one data node, one arbiter is enough to sustain. So this is the reason to have the sustainability. One data node, two data nodes, one primary, one secondary, one arbiter. This is architecture will follow by everyone in the market. Everyone mostly. Maybe some clients are keeping some important in data. All data nodes can be. You would see that. But 90% implementation will be only this: two data nodes, one arbiter, everywhere. 90%, I can guarantee that because we are using everywhere. So arbiter is mandatory because to save the infrastructure. That's it. The intention behind is to save the infrastructure. Why to waste 2 TB storage, 400 GB RAM, 32 CPUs again, right? So that is what it is about. Arbiter. Any questions on the arbiter? We are done. Anyone? Let's go to the upgrade. If you're clear on this one, arbiter will not take any data. I read this already from primary and including the security. We need to enable the security on the arbiter node to connect. We will keep the replication name as it is, like the data node, to detect and add into the replication. See, it is added as an arbiter because we kept that what cars replication in the config. When I change the config, I kept that cars as it is. The keep the binding with the replication. If you see, there is this one. If I remove this one, it won't join into the replication. This should be common across all the replica nodes. If not, it will not join. This is only a binder. The name, the replica REPL set name is a binder for all the nodes. When you're adding it, it is looking for the common name. If it is there, then only it will join, else it won't join. That is what that statement was saying. To go to the primary, add the arbiter, rs.add arp, and the hostname port number. That's it, will get added, right? Upgrade. Quickly talk about this and then move to it. This is very important topic. Upgrade in the Mongo will go in the rolling fashion. First, you do the upgrade on the primary node, sorry, secondary node, and then primary node. It is like that. This is a primary, and this is secondary. This is secondary. rs dot secondary. Okay. So I have to do the upgrade here first. Okay, let's do it. Arbiter also will do it, the upgrade. Everything will do it. So CLS, follow the closely steps. It is not so tough. We already covered the upgrade stuff already. I wanted to upgrade this first. Then I'll make the admin command and upgrade one by one. Right. So what binary it is calling? If you wanted to verify version 4.0, I wanted to upgrade to 4.2. I need to get the binaries first. We discussed standalone. It is a standalone only, but one by one after the other. Where is that? This one. And pick up the tarball, copy link. Okay, so I'll go into the setup again. This is where we have, right? But I'll duplicate the new one, new setup. It's not calling the Google. Okay. Sudo service network restart. This is what you have to do when it is not doing the job. What is saying? Oh, sorry. The spell mistake. Network. Done. If it is done, I can do that. Duplicate. Oh, I have to do sudo. That's correct. Because I don't own that directory. Simple, guys. That's simple. I'll do it very quickly on this one because we did discuss all the steps in the standalone. It is like a standalone only, nothing much. Change the binary and start. That's it. Nothing you have to do for the upgrade. You have to take the backup and all. Primary is there. We are not touching the primary. So when you are doing the primary, you have to take the machine snapshot and do it. I'll tell that. So now we got the binary. Okay. I'll give the ownership to the Mongo R. Sudo ch on. Again, I have to do it from Mongo R if I give it. Anyway, let's do the tar. Okay. Come on, staying with the permission. Just fine. It is owned by root, so sudo. Right. So now we got this 4.2. Now I'm going to give the ownership. Sudo ch on. Okay. -r recursive. Go inside into everything, claim it. Okay. To what I wanted to give Mongo R. SQLDB is a group and the file. That's it. It will give the ownership to everywhere. If you go inside the file also, you see all the files have been taken to Mongo R. That's how it is. Now I know this is where the new binary. So what I have to do, pick up this and cd etc profile d plus fnl vi sudo vi class, right? Insert. I'm going to change the path. That's it. The new path. And let's call Mongo D, which version it is calling? 4.22. It's not good. Then I have to 4.2. Changed there. Let's see on this session. What is calling version? I have to log off and log in to detect that. 4.2, right? Okay. I'll log off and log in with this user. Mongo R. Mongo 4.2 now. Okay. Mongo D also version 4.2, right? So now what I'm going to do, Mongo is up actually. Let's try to connect. It is up. I'll shut down first. Use admin. Before that, db.version. If you see, what is the version we have? It is 4.0 only. db.shutdown server. Now I'll start the server. It will pick up the new binaries and it will start with the new version because we loaded the new binaries. We have seen that new binaries 4.2 is loaded. Now I'm starting the Mongo. It will start with higher version. That's it. This is got upgraded. So now you go and connect and see rs dot secondary okay, and then db dot version. What you'll get 4.2. It is upgraded. Now what I need to upgrade is arbiter. Next. Here also I'll do some action using the admins first. This is how it is. Simple, because we did the standalone. It is like a standalone, but one by one. First, I need to get the setup again. Do I have to download? I can transfer from the Linux 2 also. I can download it, not an issue. It's not taking too long. If I want to take from the Linux 02 or 3, which one we upgraded just now? Which one we upgraded? This one? Secondary, right? This Linux 02 is secondary. Which machine we upgraded? This arbiter, this is a primary, the secondary, then this one.
02.
Okay. So from 02, I want to transfer the setup to here. Let's go to CD. Instead of download, we know how to download now, right? So here, this file I want to transfer, or else this file I can transfer, any of that. So if I want to transfer this, there is small something extra, SCP, and the -R. You have to give recursive copy, -R, and then pick up this, and the target is Linux 01, where I want to transfer. User is Ravinder. Sorry, it should be right. Ravinder. Okay, where I wanted to transfer. Ravinder cannot transfer to setup. Let's use a Mongo then, because sudo I cannot use it here. So Mongo or can write the data into that setup directory. So now where Mongo setup. This is where I want to write. So let's hit this. I get to set unknown. Okay, it is a small r, not capital. For taking the permission all subdirectories -r, for copying all subdirectory small r. That is the difference. Okay. What happened? Something it has give, right? Couldn't resolve the host name. Shit, I have given the reward order. First the username, then host name. Sorry, it happens. Linux 01. It is transferring. I'll transfer to this node also, not to waste time. Okay, we have set up directory here also. Just I'm transferring the file, nothing else I'm doing. Linux 03, right? 3. Just keeping things ready. Oh, what I'm doing. All right. Setups are ready on this one also. So now I'm updating the arbiter, right? So in the arbiter, arbiter is Linux 01. I'm on the Linux 01. Okay. First, I'm updating the binary. First, if you where it is 4.2. Okay. I can tar using the Mongo R. Anyway, I can use sudo, which is fine. Sudo tar xvf. See, this is owned by Mongo R. Only Mongo R can extract, or else sudo can extract, not other. So that is why I'm using Toro, because I'm into running the session, which is fine. So, oh, I'm doing this one. I don't need
Nick,
tar.
we already extracted it.
Right. Good. So why we need to do that? Useless. So let's see that subdirectories are owned by this guy only. lsfnl. Yes. Bin. Yes. Nothing you have to do. Pick up this pwd. Get this copied. cd etc profile d lsfnl sudo vi mongo. Right. Insert mode and change the path. That's it. Now I'll shut down this arbiter. db dot use admin first. You see this, it is got shut down properly. Still, I got to log off and log in. This usual thing, right? We discussed this. No, Mongo. Oh, I finished. Right. I'll start the Mongo. It is there in the replication. Nothing is going away. Only the upgrade is going. Right. Oh, sorry. 4.2. Now, what is left is primary. This is where you have to be very careful. Take the machine snapshot, take the backups, whatever I discussed on the other part. This is a primary 3, right? This is a primary. Take the dumps of a database, take the copy of the data directory, do everything when you do a primary, okay? Because this is something important for us. So now before I do this, I'll step down. I'll step down so that other start functioning the role. So where's the username? I can type it. Right, this is what I'm looking for. Secondary, right? rs dot slave okay, else secondary okay, right? So DB. So now you can do the failover, though the versions are mismatched. You can do it because we did not change the compatibility yet. That makes the situation. rs dot step down. It works. This will become primary. Right? See, this is secondary. db dot version is 4.0 only at the moment, but on the primary right now, this one is db dot version is 4.2 already. So now I have to do this. So use admin. Okay. First, I'll change the binaries case as usual. We got the binaries already. Only thing I had to change in the profile. cd var. If you follow what exactly I'm doing, you never run into issues. I'm doing in a proper way. So everything is owned by already Mongo. So cd to bin lsfnl. It is owned by Mongo R. Good enough. pwd. Copy this. Highlight is enough. cd etc profile did lsfnl vi mongo sudo have to use because it's owned by root mongo. Insert mode and change the path. That's it. We are done with upgrade. Except one command you have to run at the end. Now start the Mongo using this guy, Mongo R. Did I shut down the Mongo? I should have. It is connecting. What? Something wrong. We are done. What the heck I did? What is the problem? There is a problem then. It's not reading it. What is extra? 2 bins. Come on. It is not able to parse that path. Why? Because you kept 2 bins there. Again, I have to log off and log in. Right, it is loading. So did I shut down Mongo? Actually, I'm not sure. No. First shut down. No Mongo. That's it. db.version version is 4.2. Once everything upgraded, the last one, this is very careful you have to do. Once everything is upgraded, see Mongo replica set upgradation. Mongo replica upgrade will always follow the rolling fashion upgrade. Rolling means one after the other, which mean upgrade secondary server one after the other and fail over to the primary, do the upgrade. Fail over the primary and do the upgrade. First, db.get compatibility. What is a compatibility? Do it from the primary only. This thing, it's mandatory to do it, else you're gone. It's very careful when you're doing the replica upgrade, which is primary, this one. So this is secondary, and where 2 3 1 1. Let's take out this. We don't need this anymore. Arbiter. Let's connect to this one also. So arbiter, fine. Arbiter won't get updated with this. I'll show that. If I see this one, 4.0 here. Okay. Oh, what I had done? That's right. How come that is come from? That's right. You have to run this command to verify what is the current compatibility. So version arbiter got changed. Good enough. This is running with 4.0. This is also running with the 4.0. Now change it to 4.2 on the primary. See, note, once all the nodes in the replica set upgraded in rolling fashion, we need to run the below command in the primary set only. It's mandatory to run on the primary. So run this command on the primary. It will change on all secondary data nodes, not on the arbiter. Arbiter got updated with 4.2 when we started itself, it seems. Good something. We are concerned about data nodes first. See, before, come on, what happened? Why does this go? See, the secondary data node 4.0 and the primary data node 4.0. I'm running this command on the primary 4.2. That's it, it is done. So now if I run this one on the primary and secondary both, it will reflect 4.2. Here I did not do, but still you get the same thing, 4.2. See, now upgrade is finished. This is called Mongo upgrade in a rolling fashion. First do on the secondary, guys, nothing else. You have to change the binary location and check the binary is calling like before you stop and start the Mongo. Log off and log in, check the binary is loading, then start the Mongo, it will upgrade it. That's it. All secondaries upgrade, and on the last primary, step down the primary will be given to the one of the secondary. And then here also do the same thing. Once everything is done, change the compatibility from the primary. But anyway, a rigorous testing must be done before we attempt to do the production. You are not supposed to take the hit. You have to tell them, the application team, that do it a proper R&D and testing in the pre-prod before we attempt to production. If we do production, it is not working, I'm not going to take the hit. 4.2 has a lot of changes. Coming back is very tough. 4.0 to 3.6 very easy. 3.6 to 3.4 is dead easy. But 4.2, 4.0 to 4.2, when you go upside, downside is tough. You need to copy the data through data only we can. I discussed that separately in the standalone upgrade. I spent separately 3.6 to 4.0, 4.2, 4.0 to 4.2. Downgrade was not working. I picked up the Mongo using the existing data directory. Intentionally I discussed. That is the reason 4 to 4.2 you have to be careful. You have to ask the application team in the pre-prod itself, test everything before we attempt to do the production. This has a lot of major releases, and once upgraded, downgrade is tough. So better to be keep that word and tell the application team before you do it. Two more things, we are very small things are we left with. So now case is this, okay? A last case, last scenario in Mongo. We have done almost all the scenarios except this. How do we make the last Mongo node as a primary? Because it's just staying as a secondary. I don't want that, need to serve the purpose for me. So what should I do? So basically what happens, I'll tell you the situation. If this is down and this is down, both the servers are down, it never come online. For some reason it is gone. Only one left. It's just staying as secondary. You don't have a choice to make it primary at all if as long as secondaries are there in the config. That's a big problem. So intentionally I'm going to bring this last situation. We have done all the things. db dot shut down. It is down. Still it hold the primary role. Why? It got the enough of porting. And db dot shut down server. I'm into admin. No, use admin. Okay. Oh, what I'm doing. db dot shut down server. This is also when this is a situation. This is the secondary, no more primary. Then how do I make it primary? There is no way of making primary this basically as long as the servers are in the config. It is trying to go and contact these servers forever. These are the three servers you have, and you see the rs.status, and it never become a primary at all. These are unreachable. They are not giving the vote. You cannot become primary at any point of time as long as these members are in the config. So what we have to do first, you have to remove them first. We have to remove one by one. But can I remove from the secondary? Let's try rs.remove. What node is down? Basically this node is down. It is saying that not able to connect. Can I remove from the secondary? No, you cannot, only from the primary. Remove or addition can be done from the primary node only. That is another drawback we have. See, should only run on the primary. See, repel set config should only run against primary, but my state is secondary. Use the force. There is a force. It is clearly giving this statement. So now I'm going to tell this. If all replica sets you wanted to convert it to standalone, I don't want replica set anymore for some reason whatsoever. The secondaries are down and they are not coming online. I wanted to badly make this online right now because arbiter down, data node is down, there is no ETA, business is completely down. I wanted to make the data immediately up and running for the business. That is my immediate intention. This is the last step. rs.conf, pick up this output. Okay, you have to absolutely sure when you're doing this. Okay, get this into notepad. What member is not working for us? That we need to identify. What member is not working for us? First rs.status. So Linux 02 is the one, the rest are not working. So Linux 01 is not connecting, Linux 03 also not connecting. I'll take out all of them from the members here. One is working for us, right? Two is working. I'll take out one. This member I don't need. What did I do? I have to take it properly. Only document I have to take it out. One is I don't want in the config. And what else? 3 is also not doing the job. 3 is also down. It is not giving. I want to take out that 3. Is this 3? 3, 3, 3. This document, right? So what I'm left with, actually, I don't have anything here, so I'll take out that comma also. Only one node in the replica. Only keep one node in the replica because other nodes are down. As long as they're in the config, you cannot make the secondary to primary. It is not possible. So I'm picking this output into variable. This is the last situation we are done. I'm going to send this output to one of the variable. Right. The X variable has this CLS. X variable has this details in it. Only one member replica now. Now rs.reconfig, you can do it with a force. X is our variable. I'm telling that it is not primary, but okay, I'm forcing you to do it. Force. True. If I do this, now what it is saying? No host described in the new configuration for replica cars maps this node. What the heck? Data 2 is not there in the config. Oh, I did a mistake. Anyway, it is not doing the job. rs.state, rs.conf again. I removed the 2 itself. I'm running on the 2 itself I removed by mistake. Wow. Got it actually? I kept it 3. 3 is not the case, right? 2 is down. 3 is down. 2 is up. So this is actual config. 1 is down and 3 is down. This is 2. So I'll keep it online. This is 3 is down. The 1 is down. What is done? That is you have to delete. So 2 is up. So this is what I miss. I was kept 3. That's not good. Anyway, it was giving the proper error saying that you're trying to force, but who is you wanted to keep it? Only one is online. That also you are removing it. You cannot do that. So something good actually. See, 2 is online now, right? So now I'll use this force now. I'm using the X and force. That's it. This will become primary. See, automatic primary. Why? Because it has only one node. We did not add the secondaries. It will become primary automatically. It start functioning with the data, all of the data. This is the last step. You have to do it. Okay. So see here, how to make last primary replica as how to make last replica as a primary using force command. First, basically, if you wanted to remove, you can remove nodes. We have seen already that this no need to be covered. Removing the nodes. See, rf dot pick up the output and remove all the unreachable members in the output. First, remove it. Then assign the modified output to the variable and run the command using that variable. then last node in the replica will become primary automatically with the data to serve the application. First, remove all the unreachable nodes and whatever the modified node, what output given to A, and then reconfig A, force true. So it is overwriting the new configuration by eliminating the unreachable nodes. Then it will be one node replica. One node replica means it does not go for outing because there are no things. Basically one machine is there, one machine itself is, it's like a first time when you initiate the replication, first node will become primary. When you add the secondaries, there it will start the outing. It is like a one node replica. It will by default primary. It does not look for the outing because there is no outing at all. This way you can serve the purpose. Now these games online again, you start adding it, it will pick up. But you are bringing the business online at that moment because arbiter down, secondary is down. You wanted to make the data available. Business is important for you, right? So remove it when they came online. Add our data node, like that's it. You got the replication back again in next two commands. Any questions? We are done. Complete replication is done with all the issues. This, if you practice, you really become, like a good expertise. These are all small maximum things you face in the replication. Any questions? One thing is left is point in time recovery that comes in the backup restore in the replication. Any questions?